Keira Knightley was recently in a press interview for a movie that she has coming out soon. And unrelated to that movie, a journalist tried to bait her into disavowing J.K. Rowling. I think this is, her reaction is a sign that actors are done playing the disavowal game. She basically laughed in the journalist's face and talked to the journalist as if they are a kindergartner.
She school-marmed her.
Which was entirely appropriate for the position that they put her in. She didn't outright defend J.K. Rowling in this clip, but she basically told the audience that they need to learn to, live in the same world as people who disagree with them. So let's just see her reaction here.
Her eyes are like, you never want a woman making that face at you at the beginning.
Saw your voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, given J.K. Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry. I think we're all living in a period of time right now. We're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions, so I hope that we can all find respect.
That was all that needed to be said.
Hold on, let me play it one more time for you
guys. I think we're all living in a period of time right now. We're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions, so I hope that we can all find respect.
Literally, she hit you with what the teacher would have hit you when you got into a disagreement with somebody on the playground. Like, where she goes, Timmy?
Can we all get along today? Can we have a nice day?
Use your words.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling's opinions can't hurt you. I also was unaware that there was a boycott campaign against the Harry Potter audiobooks.
That's not gonna work.
I'm pretty chronically online, and I didn't know that existed. But Keira Knightley is voice acting in one of those audiobook roles.
They said what, she's gonna be playing
Professor
Umbridge?
Umbridge.
Okay.
Yeah. She has just the right amount of British posh accent for it.
Look.
But yeah, here were some of the responses. Keira Knightley's laugh says it all. Trans extremism has peaked and no one is afraid of it anymore. Another one said, Keira laughs and looks away and says basically that people are going to have to get over themselves. I think it's the first time I've seen a celebrity deal with this kind of disingenuous question so cleanly. Well done. And this is the type of celebrity interview that I would like to see more of. They always, it's been years at this point where you have plenty of bad examples to model your own behavior off of. You don't have to take the bait. In fact, she could have just responded by saying, no, I was not aware of that.
Yep.
Next question. The next question should hopefully be about the movie I'm promoting. Alongside, I think it was her co-star that she was with in that video.
And they were went up to the actors and Tron. They're like, were you aware of the mounting level of allegations against Jared Leto? They're like, I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Guess we're all going to have to learn to just get along.
Yeah, exactly. But given J.K. Rowling's response to Emma Watson's recent comments on her gender ideology views, I'm kind of hoping just in the most toxic part of myself that J.K. Rowling responds to Keira Knightley with some diss for no reason.
I don't think she did that to Emma Watson because there's so much history there.
Yeah.
I don't think she would do that. That would be very weird. It would be a bad look if she did that to Keira Knightley.
Well, Keira Knightley is someone who's currently working with J.K. Rowling's franchise. Emma Watson is just, an alumna.
I also like the idea that J.K. Rowling's like, bullshit, we have to all get along.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not going to get along with people who disagree with me. Fuck you. I just want her to respond with some, insane clapback for no reason. I just want her to be toxic for no reason. Here were some of the comments on TikTok. Why are human rights suddenly opinions? That laugh says she's not sorry. Good for you. You learned to detect sarcasm. Here was another one. I can't believe they didn't media train her for this answer. Any media trainer worth the money would tell Keira Knightley to respond exactly the way you just saw.
Yep.
But most of the
Well,
time,
what they mean by media training is a media trainer that 100% agrees with them and will tell you to answer in the way that they want you to, not the way that's most applicable to the widest audience. Which is that, you know what? It's a big world out there. There's going to be a lot of people that you come across in your life, and a lot of them are going to have different opinions than yours. Might we all just get along?
Mm-hmm. Recently, a friend of the show, Vanessa Santos, was interviewed for a piece in Variety.
I saw that. About
her work as a publicist for a lot of right-wing media figures. And one of them is Drea De Matteo. They also interviewed Drea De Matteo in the piece. And basically, Drea De Matteo says, like, I was getting all of this backlash for being skeptical or critical of vaccine mandates. And people in my industry were pressuring me to acquiesce to that backlash and apologize. And they were coming up with all of these crisis PR strategies for me. But when I talked to Vanessa, she said I should lean into it and be more outspoken about my beliefs and instead take press interviews with people who are willing to hear me out and not necessarily agree, but just treat you like a human being.
Yep.
And you know, most people in PR don't have that mindset. They have the mindset of, like, you know, containing the storm as much as possible, which in reality only exacerbates the controversy.
These days it does.
If Keira Knightley sat there and gave the journalist what she wanted, a disavowal of J.K. Rowling and a statement that she is an ally to the trans community, I think she'd actually face more blowback.
Yep.
That's how much
They're like, well, why did you sign up
this
for
issue
it to
has
be,
changed.
Why did you sign up to work with her to begin with?
Yeah.
If you're such an ally.
Right.
They were doing that to John Lithgow when because he has played trans characters in movies and television and has always seemed like somebody that they thought of as an ally. So when he took on the role of Dumbledore for a money truck that I'm sure was backed up into his front yard, like any normal person, they put their own selfish interests above an amorphous group that isn't a singular person. You may put the needs of your family above your own. You may put the needs of your friends above your own if you're a really good friend. But when it comes to either your own needs or an amorphous, unknowable group that isn't really, you know, it's nameless and faceless other than an ideology, you're going to choose your own. You're going to choose your own well-being.
And John Lithgow as well is like, bro, this is my last role. Like, I'm literally about to die. I don't care.
He's like, I'm trying to not Richard Harris this shit. Like, I'm trying to get this shit done before the I bite the bullet.
Here is another comment. I will absolutely not be finding respect for people who are against human rights and decency. No man has the human right to reside at a women's abuse shelter. That's not a human right.
That is the J.K. Rowling stance that has upset themselves.
No man has a human right to sit on a toilet in a women's restroom and take selfies in the mirror in makeup and a dress. That's not a human right. I don't know. I'm just like fatigued, like it seems most actors are, with even commenting on this anymore because the issue has fallen out of favor. I think there was, you know, you don't want to take any poll as like evidence of a happening, but there was recently a survey that found, like, I think Gen Z college students that identify as neither male or female, that number has plummeted in recent years, the last few years. Because it's not fashionable anymore to align yourself with that community. And it was a fashion statement to begin with. That's proof of it. So this just isn't a fashionable stance to take. There are some that are more fashionable, like, you know, being against ICE or
that's where
climate change.
That's what they're talking about now.
You can pick a different pet issue, but this is not the one to stand on business for. And
in 5 years, it'll be a different one.
I also wanted to mention Miriam Margolyes, who played Professor Sprout in the Harry Potter movies. She has not recently commented on J.K. Rowling or the franchise in general, but this is an important reminder that she issued to people.
I worry. about Harry Potter fans, because they should be over that by now. You know, I mean, it was 25 years ago, and it's for children. I think it's for children. But they get stuck in it. I do cameos, and people say, oh, we're having a Harry Potter-themed wedding. And I think, gosh, what's their first night of fun going to be? I can't even...
Well, imagining that it's their first night of fun shows how old you actually are, because that's likely not the case. But let's continue.
think about it. No. Harry Potter is wonderful. I'm very grateful to it. It's over.
There's actually kind of a disconnect there, which is that one of the things that artists love to do, and I'm not saying that Miriam herself does this, but they always kind of tout the importance of art, of what they do. And I talked about this a little bit in the video I made today, which is that, you know, the TV shows of old, the reason why comfort shows work is they stuck with people. They helped them through hard times. She's kind of going the opposite route here. She's like, okay, it's time to grow up.
Y'all.
I was watching, I read this tweet from Leah Remini, who said, like, to this day, she gets messages from people who are like, look, King of Queens was a big deal to me when I was younger, and I still watch the episodes when I'm feeling down. And she's like, I'm very grateful that I can be that what I created or what I helped create could have played such an important part of your life. Miriam Margolyes is like, get the hell over it and go have sex with your wife.
Well, I think that they're both right in a way. Like, to be uncharacteristically nuanced for my usual takes, I think they're both making a good point. Like, yes, you can return to a nostalgic franchise or a movie or a TV show for comfort, and we all do stuff like that. Like, my comfort show is Frasier. But also don't live in a state of perpetual adolescence.
That was in the article that I was kind of pulling from today, they talk about how there is such a thing as too much of that, which ends up being detrimental to
I agree with that take. And there are so many adults who grew up with Harry Potter that are still emotionally attached to this franchise in a way that makes them lash out at J.K. Rowling for, like, ruining the magic for them. That's where you take it too far. Like, and by the way, she got so much backlash for saying this, like, in this very tongue-in-cheek way, and people were so offended. One comment said, adulthood is so stressful. We adults look for anything to make us smile, even if it's a show from 25 years ago.
Okay, that's
you
true,
just
but that doesn't mean you have to say that.
Sound like a self-pitying, wallowing little sop. Like, yeah, she's right. You need to grow up. And then recently, she spoke on how she is unapologetically woke. She said, I am a left-wing bike, and I love it. I love being a lesbian. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's great fun. And
she sounds like the type of person that I think almost everybody would like to have if I still drank alcohol, I would like to go have a beer with this woman.
Yeah, she seems like a blast.
At a pub. I want to go to a pub and ask and have her tell me stories.
And, like, eat shepherd's pie. Yeah, she has a very comforting energy. But actually, given her age, identifying as a lesbian up until very recently corresponded to a certain anatomy. And that would suggest to me that perhaps she's sympathetic to J.K. Rowling's views. But that's just a guess.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nobody's business to put those words in her mouth. It's her choice to speak on it. But, you know, being what it is, what I would like to see is for all of you out there, if perhaps you are one of these media trainers or you're one of these publicists, I want you to click and capture that Keira Knightley video, and I want you to train. You'll probably have to train the men a little bit different because it was, like I said, it was very school marm. Like, the men will have to be trained in a different way, but for the women, they should look like they're like two like preteen boys just fought on a playground. And she goes, well, boys, I think we're all going to have to learn how to just get along on this big blue planet of ours. And wouldn't it be nice if we could all sing Kumbaya and just get along, even though we may not always agree on everything? Can't we agree that we're all humans?
A++ to Keira Knightley. And A smiley face sticker.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.